Peace. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Free Will Fishing. I would say a tutorial edition. The tutorial edition to how to make fresh poke from a Nenue fish. So this is a Nenue, also known as a Rudderfish or a gray chub. They actually make some really good poke, so we're going to make that today. I'm going to show you what you're going to need for this kind of a project. Starting with our ingredients, you'll need some good soy sauce, also known as shoyu, some onions, but I'm going to actually do something a little bit different. I'm going to use some killer pepper onions. I'm going to cut it up here on this cutting board. I'm also going to then use some sesame seeds. Sesame oil is what you want. Also some onion powder, white pepper actually, and you're going to use some furikake. Okay, now you also are going to want to have, for your scaling and all of your stuff that you're going to throw away on the fish, a trash bag that you're going to use. Of course, you need one Nenue, and a nice size one too. You need a fillet knife, and you're going to need a scaler. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is scale your fish. You want to hold it here by the head area, put it inside the bag so the scales don't fly all over your kitchen, or you can do it at the beach so that they can fly wherever you like. And then you'll start to, you know, kind of make a little tent over your fish. But then you're going to go ahead and scale your fish, starting from the tail area, going back forward toward the head. Once we finish scaling it, we're going to fillet it, but we're going to pull this skin off too. So I haven't, you know, tried the theory of, you know, not scaling and just kind of trying to peel it off, peel the skin off. But you know, if anybody knows a method like that, definitely feel free to you know, contact me, drop a comment, letting you know how to, you know, if you're not going to eat the skin, how do you just rip the skin off with the scale still on it. So otherwise, this is the way we're going to do it. All right, so one of the things you want to watch is that this fish has some pretty gnarly spikes on the top of its head, which very easy to accidentally poke yourself, and I just poked myself just a little bit. It shouldn't be anything too serious, but watch yourself. This is why you hold it by the head area as you scale it. Okay, once again, make sure that your bag is covering so you don't have to worry about the scales flying all over everywhere. Okay, now that we have it scaled, we're going to give it a good rinse. Like I said, watch these spikes here. They hurt. Now that we have scaled this guy, what we're going to do, we're not even going to clean any of the guts out or anything like that. What we're going to do is very carefully start to fillet this fish so that we can just get to the meat. So when you start your fillet, okay, I like to start my fillet by starting here at the tail, at the point where you're going to want to pull back. Okay, first thing we're going to do after we make that cut is to cut along the tail area. If you can see there, cut along the tail area, and we're going to cut along the back of the fish, along this little fin at the top. Okay, so we're going to make that incision there. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now we are also going to do the same thing. It's almost like we're making an outline of the area that we want to actually cut. Now what we're going to do is, you see where we're going to stop here? We're going to stop like right about here with the bottom line. Okay, why? Because this whole area here we want to avoid cutting into. Okay, so now that we have these cuts, what you notice is that the skin is starting to come away from the meat, and that's exactly what we want. So we're going to, you know, pull it a little bit. We're going to aid it with a little cut here, right? You see, that's where that skin is. But then we're going to grab the skin and we're going to pull as much, you know, if it comes away easy, that's great. If it doesn't, you can start to assist it a little bit with your fillet knife, just to make sure you're not pulling a whole lot of meat away, you know, because that's not what you want to do. So also make sure you double check to make sure your incisions were made so that the skin actually can be pulled, because if not, then you're going to rip a lot of your fish meat off, and you don't want that either. Okay, so I'm going to start pulling this. Some people even make like a little hole in the skin so that they can kind of put like their thumb through and pull. I'll see if that works for me today. Alright, so I did make a cut. And then did it go through? It might have gone through, but there it is. So open that up just a little bit. And I'm gonna try to put my thumb in there. There we go. Oh no, too small. My thumb is kind of big. So alright, there we go. So I got a little loop. I'm gonna put my first finger in there and then start peeling the skin back, and that's actually coming away pretty good. It's coming away better than I've done it before. So unfortunately there's a lot of little meat that's coming away too. So once again, check and make sure we can assist the skin and just the skin to be pulled away properly, so that we're not pulling our meat, because that's what we want. That's what we're going to want, is for our poke. Okay, so we are going to, you see here where the skin started to be a little stubborn, so we're going to try to cut that back just a little bit, not too much. And now we're going to start going down. You see how we're avoiding this bottom area, so we're going to still cut down, pull, pull, pull. Good, we got basically another finger hole here to start pulling from. Good. So looking good so far. All right. As we pull the skin away here, what we're going to start to see is this dark area that'll give us a really good defined line to stay away from when we start our fillet process. Now here's a really important tip. Constantly rinse your cutting board. Why? Because all sort of things start coming out at the bottom of the fish sometimes, or just from the skin, that you don't want on your meat at all. You don't want it anywhere near your meat, because that is what you want to eat. So now what we're going to start doing is filleting the fish. So remember that incision that we made? We're going to keep making an incision. Now all of this is going to be part of the poke that we're going to be making. Alright, and so we want to start doing is cutting that down. Now it looks like I actually got right on that spine on the other side, which you don't, it's not bad, but you don't really want to go on the other side. You want to stay on this side of your spine. Okay, so once again, you keep cutting down, you cut down, cut down. All right, now you cut your tail, cut that all the way through to your other side, and then you're going to start cutting this side. Okay, making sure you try to stay as close to the spine area as you can, at least at this part, because you want the maximum amount of meat. Now as you start getting to this area, okay, be very, very careful, because this is on the other side of the ribs is going to be where the intestinal area is, and we're going to avoid that altogether. Okay, that's what we're going to try to do today. All right, so Alright. Wetting your knife also is good too in this situation. It helps it to glide a little bit better onto the meat. So what we can do now is start cutting a very defined line, cut down to where the spine area is. Making sure you follow, if hopefully you guys can see where it's dark there. We're going to turn our knife a little diagonal here so that we can cut away from the rib cage. You see the rib cage here? We want to cut away from this area all together, and we follow kind of like a line. Alright, now the very first time you do this, you might not make your mark, you might not hit the mark that you want, but you can't get much better than this. So I'm going to sit this down for a second, rinse my cutting board, right, and then we're going to start cutting this up because we're going to put this on a plate eventually. Okay, now this middle line, you're going to have some bones here that we want to really cut out altogether. So we're going to follow to the left of that line, and then we're going to follow to the right of that line. And this is the meat that we're going to have here. Okay. Of course, we're going to double check, make sure no bones. It doesn't look like any bones here. This is where all your bones should really be. Right here, where that center line was. All your bones. Now, some people like to just pull the bones out and try to eat this part. I'd say you can try that if you like, and that's totally fine. So, we have this. Rinse the cutting board again, and we are going to cut this into some nice strips. So we have, hopefully this camera angle has been okay. All right, nice so far. You know, make some nice little cubes. You know, this is kind of what you want it to look like. It looks really great there. Alright, so I went ahead and filleted the other side here. Aesthetically, when it, you know, it's cut even, it looks good and tastes good. We're done with all of our cutting. Alright. You can keep your gloves on if you want to and wash them really good before you start handling anything else. Boom. Alright. So now you have a bowl full of soon to be really yummy poke. Alright. You can eat it like this right now if you wanted to, but there you go. Boom. So first thing we're going to do is put in the ingredient that you want to soak into the meat, and that is your shoyu. Just a little splash, and then because we're going to mix that around. Okay, so that's the first thing. Get you a nice spoon. Voila. And then mix it around. So now we got our shoyu. This is going to provide our, you know, soy sauce, shoyu flavor, nice salt flavor going on there. Some people even go so far as to put some Hawaiian salt on it. I'm not going to do that just to keep the sodium down, because your shoyu provides quite enough of that. So we're going to let that soak in just a little bit, along with our sesame oil. So you can be as generous as you like. Some people really love the smell and the flavor of the sesame oil, and it really makes this awesome. So we're going to mix that up. Okay, and that's just the beginning. Smelling good already. So then I'm going to go ahead and put in your white pepper. Just a nice little sprinkle for flavor. Alright. We're going to put all the rest of our seasonings on before we mix. Onion powder. Some people put that on, some people don't. Some people put furikake on it, but I'm going to hold off on that. Once again, for the sodium. I'm going to put it on my rice though, that's for sure. You go ahead and put your sesame seeds on as much as you like. I mean, be reasonable, I guess. And last ingredient is going to be our killer pepper onions. So I'm going to chop those up now. Right, so we got all those nice and chopped up, and we mixed that into our poke bowl. Alright, so you're pretty much set. What a lot of people do is go ahead and chill this at this point. If you wanted to, you can go ahead and eat this just as it is, but I like to chill mine just a little bit because I like how the flavor comes together after it's chilled. So let me step into the light a little bit, but this is your Nenue poke. Hopefully you guys enjoy watching me make this. I am going to go ahead and chill this now and put this over some rice and really share with my family, you know, just so that they can experience the taste too. Alright guys, so I'm gonna have just a sampling of this. I'm gonna put a little bit of furikake because I like a little bit of furikake on my rice, and then I'm going to place some of this poke right on top of this rice. And this right now is essentially a poke bowl. Okay, it looks a little gourmet with my shaped rice there, but it is definitely going to be tasty. Alright guys, so this is the final product. This is what your poke bowl can look like. Of course, you know, you can make it any kind of way you want, with rice, without rice, but this is your poke bowl right here. Just want to show y'all how now I kind of mixed it all in. Get a little sampling of the everything together. You see, it's awesome. Tastes so good. I love it, especially with these killer pepper onions in there. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining me once again on Free Will Fishing. And once again, peace, love, and fishing. All right, y'all.